morning, beautiful people. I've been on vacation for the last weeks, but I'm back and I hope you've been enjoying January. Uh, Today I want to talk about asteroid farming, which is something I just found about recently. I find it quite interesting. Something that we haven't really been using, but we could really use it and even profit from it here on Earth. People have said that it's something that's secondary, that comes secondary, that we get some profits from it. But asteroid farming, you can think of it as space mining, but with a long-term twist. So it's not just grabbing rocks once, but harvesting them, processing, and possibly managing asteroids as ongoing research sites. Resources in asteroids. Asteroids have different valuables. They have metals like iron, nickel, cobalt, and they have precious metals like platinum, palladium, and gold. And then they also have water, which can be split into oxygen for breathing and hydrogen for rocket fuel. It's extremely valuable in space. It's useful for fuel, plastics, and life support. And a single metal-rich asteroid could theoretically contain more platinum than has ever been mined on Earth. But it can be expensive. Asteroid farming would capture and tow, that is, redirect a small asteroid into Earth or lunar orbit. It can be used on-site mining with robots. We probably wouldn't use humans to heat and grind material. It would. We also part of it would be thermal extraction. It would include thermal extraction, so to heat asteroids, then it would release water vapor and condense it. In-space refining is also something that is possible, and it processes materials without gravity or atmosphere, which is something new and seems to be in sci-fi. And then we could transport it. Could either send refined materials to Earth or keep them in orbit. But most plans rely on fully autonomous robots and not human miners, like I said. It is real in theory and experimental in practice. It's a small-scale sample returns have happened. The word farming means repeated harvesting, managed resource zones, asteroids parked in stable orbits, and long-term infrastructure rather than one-off missions. There's also a lot of cost around that, and difficult to engineer in zero gravity, legal uncertainty, but in my opinion, nobody can own an asteroid. But legal uncertainty because of ownership, and so in short, asteroid farming is about extracting water, metals, and fuel from asteroids to support space travel and industry. And lunar mining is also something interesting. And then water ice, especially at the poles, gets mined. Oxygen is locked in the lunar soil, and silicon, aluminum, and iron is used, and also helium-3, possibly. It's very close to Earth, so that's a big pro. And it's in predictable gravity and stable ground, and ideal for early space industry. So there are some things that are better about that. And lunar, of course, means moon, so we would be using water ice from the moon. and it's best for fuel production and life support. We could possibly use it later on if it's necessary, and builds materials for bases and stations. Uh, but there are also some challenges, like lunar dust is abrasive and electrostatic, and there are extreme temperature swings. There are long lunar nights, and permanent infrastructure is expensive. But NASA and China and ESA and India, for example, and even private companies have been considering it. So then it would mainly be iron and nickel and some platinum group metals that would be farmed from that. It's best for refueling spacecraft in orbit that is stable and building large structures in space and supporting Mars or deep space missions. And it's long term and stable, but it's still mostly experimental and future focused. But I find it quite interesting to see what will come out of it, and maybe we could use it for our good and somebody's good. So let me know what you think about it, and hope you learned something from this today. If you have any ideas, then you can just let me know. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.